Well, hello there. My name is David Baker. I run a website and a blog that lists details of lawsuits filed against hospitals in the Capital District of upstate New York, none of which have been reported by the newspapers. And this morning I'm going to take a look at one particular case, which is interesting because in it the people involved admitted under oath that they took the actions which led to the harm done to this patient. So what I'm going to do is actually read some of the transcript of the depositions that took place in this case, which are revealing because the people involved admit that they were involved in a cover-up, that they didn't report the matter, and that the man had been burned, and they didn't tell the family. So the case involves a lawsuit against Albany Memorial Hospital. And as I say, they admitted under oath that they waited more than a week to file incident reports that are required within 24 hours, and almost 3 weeks to tell the family of the patient that he had received a serious burn from a coal pack in violation of a hospital protocol that had been filled with hot water and placed under him while he was heavily medicated. This was a serious burn. It required treatment at a burn center. Now, this testimony is recorded in transcripts of depositions taken in the lawsuit brought by on behalf of Leonard Guyette, who lived in Troy, New York. The claim was filed in January of 2007, and it was amended shortly afterwards to include a claim for punitive damages. We don't know what happened in the end because the case was settled, as is usual, with no details of the actual settlement, but it settled just before trial, which also is very common. They wait till just the last minute when it would go to trial, and then they settle it with a confidentiality agreement in many cases. Now, one of the nurses deposed in that case was Donna M. Kopinski, and she was questioned in the case by a lawyer for the plaintiff, Thomas Conway of Conway and Kirby in Latham, New York, which was representing the Guyettes. The lawsuit alleged that the staff had first told Guyette's family that he had a bedsore as opposed to a very serious burn. Here's how the part of the questioning went in the deposition. Question: did you talk to the family at all? Answer: no. Question: did you call the family? Answer: no, I did not. Question: did you advise the family that there had been an incident in connection with their relative? Answer: no, I did not. Question: why not? Answer: I didn't think it was going to become what it became. Question: did there come a point in time when it did become something? Answer: yeah. Question: when was that, ma'am? Answer: I don't know, because I didn't have him as a patient too often after the incident. Question: now, as I understand it, you never reported it to your supervisor. Is that correct? Answer: probably not. Question: and did anyone discuss it with you? Answer: my supervisor, yes. Answer, or question rather, and who would that have been? Answer: Marianne Roberto. Question: now, when you say you didn't think it was going to amount to much, so you didn't report it to your supervisor, tell me, what do you mean by that? Answer: well, I just didn't think it was going to turn into what it turned into. Question: you knew he had been burned, right? Answer: yes. Question: did you know what the procedure was with regard to reporting to your supervisor a burn incident? Answer: you know, this is the first instance I ever had working, so I... Question: is your answer no, ma'am? Answer: an incident to me is when somebody fell out of bed. That was an incident. Question: and if somebody fell out of bed, would you have reported it to your supervisor? Answer: uh-huh. Question: but if a patient gets burned, you didn't know you were required to report it to your supervisor? Answer: I did not. Now, later, in the same deposition, this brief exchange occurred. Question: one of the hospital's procedures is that you never apply heat to a patient without a doctor's order. You knew that had been violated, right? Answer: right. Question: another procedure was that you never used the coal pack to apply hot water or heat to a patient. Is that correct? Answer: yes. Question: any other procedure that you recall that were violated? Answer: I don't recall that it's a procedure, but I know I probably should have notified the supervisor and the family. Question: and you did neither, right? Answer: right. Now, Also deposed during that same litigation was the nurse mentioned in the previous exchange, Marianne Roberto, listed as a registered nurse and a nurse manager. Thomas Conway again asking the questions. Question: what is the procedure when an event such as a burn occurs? What is the procedure if the staff is supposed to follow as far as reporting it? Answer: they're supposed to fill out an incident sheet. Question: are they supposed to fill it out immediately when it happens? Answer: yes, they have a 24-hour period. Question: they're certainly not supposed to wait as much as 10 or 11 days, is that correct? Answer: correct. Question: and in fact 24 hours is the rule. Answer: they're supposed to do it immediately, but the deadline to have it completed and made out is 24 hours. Question: and in this instance this wasn't done, is that correct? Answer: correct. Question: do you know why it wasn't done? Answer: I can't answer for the nurse. A few minutes later there was this brief exchange. Question: do you know that your staff were telling the family that he had a bed sore? Answer: correct. Question: and did you talk to your staff about that? Answer: when I knew. Question: and can you tell me who in your staff was telling the family of this patient that he had a bed sore as opposed to a burn? Answer: not without looking at records of who took care of the patient and then questioning them about what they said. Question: well, we have records of the care of the patient if you want to take a minute and look at them to jog your memory, but you became aware that they were in fact misinforming the family, correct? Answer: correct. Question: and the people that misinformed the family and told the family that he had a bed sore as opposed to having been burned, were they disciplined? Answer: no, not that I recall. Now, also deposed in that proceeding was the daughter of the patient. This is a woman by the name of Linda Gutter. She was Leonard Guyet's daughter. She was being questioned by an attorney for the hospital, not the plaintiff, attorney for the hospital, and he'd want to know what she would say at trial. He asked Gutter, first of all, about 2 telephone numbers that were written on a document, handwritten on a document that had been examined, and Gutter's first answer refers to the first of those numbers. That's the number for Westchester Burn Unit. Dr. Buckley, I couldn't remember his name. That's it. That's who I called. Question: you also have a number there for Mr. Dasher? Answer: yes. Question: did you ever speak to Mr. Dasher? Answer: yes, I did. Question: on how many occasions? Answer: I believe twice. Question: do you know who Mr. Dasher is? Answer: yes. Question: who is he? Answer: well, he's the head of that Northeast group that owns Memorial Hospital. Question: when was the first of the occasions you spoke with him? Answer: I'm not sure, but it was after my father was burned. Question: what was the sum and substance of this conversation? Answer: I called to tell him what happened to my father. Question: he took your call? Answer: yeah. Question: did he say anything to you? Answer: he told me he would look into it and have it taken care of and get back to me. Question: what specifically did you tell Mr. Dasher at that time? Answer: I told him that we had just found out that my father was burned and that they had kept it from us for 21 days, and we didn't have the opportunity to send him to the burn unit, and I wanted something done. I wanted answers, and people were hiding from us, just not helping us. Leonard Guyet survived that incident, but he has since died. He died in 2013, ironically, of another incident that was also the result, prompted a lawsuit. The interesting thing here, of course, is that, first of all, these two people admitted breaking the rules. They admitted not telling the family about it. They admitted not filing the proper reports about what had happened. They admitted violating a hospital protocol about applying heat to a patient without a physician's direct order. And of course, none of this was mentioned by the newspapers. Nothing at all. That and dozens of other lawsuits have all been ignored over the last 15 years. Many of them are on my blog, and you can find that at www.answersforlisa.blogspot.com. It's on Twitter, as you know, if you're watching this on Periscope. You can also find details on Twitter, links to the stories. The handle there is Answers for Lisa, It's also, these videos are being posted after they expire on Periscope. They're being posted on YouTube, and there'll be a link there on Twitter and on the blog. And of course there's the web page, which is the front page for the blog, and where some of the more important stories are listed. And the address there is www.capitaldistricthealthclaims.com. I'll be back with another video with details of another lawsuit when those involved admitted that they had taken the actions that led to the harm. And in this case, the patient died almost immediately. And two people in that case both admitted that they separately made the same mistake. The second one was made while doctors were frantically trying to reverse the effects of the first mistake. A devastating story. The patient died within 24 hours, I believe. I'll be back with that with the next broadcast. Until then, thank you so much for watching.